All right, so I've got some good news. If you are creating content every single week, but no one is hiring you, I think I know the problem. That problem isn't probably what you're going to think it is. Because as business owners, we think if we just show up and deliver more helpful, useful content, then people are going to want to hire us. If we give more tips, if we do tutorials, if we answer a whole bunch of different questions, they're just automatically going to want to hire us. And in some cases that does work, but in a lot of cases it doesn't. And the reason why is not because of the content. It's because you don't have the authority yet, or you haven't demonstrated the authority. There's something I learned years ago, and that was if you want people to buy from you, you need to demonstrate that you can help them, but also you need them to trust you. And that's the other piece of the authority that a lot of people don't talk about. And I'm actually going to share a real live example that happened to me and how I became a high ticket client from someone being very useful, but me also knowing, liking, and trusting them from watching videos that they published here on YouTube. So yes, I do help clients with what I'm about to share with you, but it also works on me because why? It's human nature. We only want to buy from people that we know, like, and trust, especially if you're selling something that is high ticket. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share that story with you, but then I'm going to share with you the framework that I am walking clients through right now, and we're using ourselves to basically build the authority content blueprint where you can actually model this. And also, I have a full playbook where I break this down and a workshop that breaks this entire strategy down. If you want a copy of that, just comment playbook down below and I'll send it to you. Once again, just put playbook down below and I'll send it to you. And it's the full strategy in a playbook and a companion workshop. All right, so let me share the story. So one day, about 2 years ago, I was on YouTube, just like we all are, and I was searching for investment tips or advice. And it wasn't about like, okay, I want to know how to retire early, which that could have been it, but it was more about like, what should I be investing in, or what should I be doing preparing over the next 10 years? So that way there, I have my portfolio set up properly. And I was kind of in a transition at that time because I had a financial advisor that I had for years, but he was retiring. And I'm like, all right, so what am I going to do now? So I started watching videos. And this one guy, his name is Jacob. I know that now, but his name was Jacob. And I watched one of his videos and I really liked him. He was a younger guy, probably mid 30s, and just a really nice guy, but his information was easy to understand, easy to consume. And so that was it. I watched this video and I walked away. I didn't think anything else of it. But then the next day, guess what happened? I went back on YouTube, on the app, and guess who pops up? Jacob. He did. I didn't know his name was Jacob at that time. I learned it after the fact, but there he was with another video that caught my eye. The thumbnail caught my eye and then the title caught my eye and I clicked in. And then guess what? I watched another video, and not just a video, not just a short. It was a long form video, about 20 minutes long. And guess what? What did I do after that video? Well, I had another video come up as suggested for him. And guess what I did? I watched it. And so I consumed probably about 40 minutes in that one sitting. And then the day before, probably another 15 minutes. So we're almost at an hour now that I've consumed with Jacob. Well, guess what? Next day, I pop on. Who's there? He is. There's other people that are in the financial space that are there too, but I saw him first. I liked him. I clicked on him. And guess what? I watched another video. And I don't know if I watched one or two that day. I don't remember. But all I do remember is I wanted to find his information. Now, funny little side note here. I actually had a tough time finding a way to contact Jacob. And that was the first thing that I mentioned to him once I did find his information and I contacted him. I said, hey, we need to fix that, because I had to actually dig to find a way to contact you. And he since has, and his firm is doing very, very well. And a lot of his clients come from YouTube. But I went ahead and hired him after I had consumed a bunch of his content. Why? Because I saw him demonstrate him helping other people. One of the series that he was putting out, which I really loved, was case studies. He was sharing how he was helping someone with a $1.7 million portfolio and how they could live on $80,000 a year or $120,000 a year, whatever it was. That one I watched. I watched another case study where he talked about how he was doing it with a $2 million portfolio. So those things really intrigued me, but it was also sharing his expertise and his personality. That's another thing that a lot of people don't realize. You need to have your personality in there because that also is an advantage, or it's going to be something where people turn away from you. And that's okay too, because we only want to work with our dream clients. At least that's what I do. So really, you want to show up and be yourself. Now, I don't believe Jacob did this strategically, although me looking at that, I said, you weren't doing it strategically, but you did the things right. And you might not have did them in the right order, but you still put out the right content. And so what I want to do here is walk you through how you can create your own authority content blueprint. And once again, this is exactly what I cover in my workshop and in the playbook that you can get for free. Again, if you want that, just go ahead and comment playbook down below and I'll send it to you. So here's what it looks like. And you can do this right now. Now, the first thing in this is we have to get crystal clear on who we are trying to attract. We're not trying to attract the biggest audience. We're trying to attract the right audience. So it's really important that you go through and you figure out who is it that you're targeting? What is the problem or the crisis that you're helping them solve? And get really, really clear on that because your content is going to be coming from that. So it's really important that we get that done first. Whenever we're working with a client, that's the very first thing we're doing is we're getting your business DNA to where we can then use that as the map. All right. So the next thing is we want to create an anchor piece of content. And that anchor piece of content is something like I just shared with you earlier, our workshop. So I created a 90-minute workshop. Now yours doesn't have to be 90 minutes. It could be 40 minutes. It could be 60 minutes. But you probably teach something to your clients. And if that's the case, what you want to do is you want to take that and you want to create a condensed version, but all of the inner workings and the frameworks, you want to cover that. So once again, when someone consumes that, they see, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. They're giving me the strategy. They're giving me these examples. And that's really, really important. So that is our anchor piece of content. Now, we don't really care if that does great on YouTube all by itself. All we're doing is we're hosting it there because why not? It's getting discovery, it's getting search traffic, it's getting browse traffic, suggested, all of those it's getting because we're putting it on that platform versus just putting it on a web page on our website that we can direct people to. So that's why we're doing that, even though we know it's probably not going to be our best performer. Although the people that watch it are going to get to know, like, and trust us, and it's going to establish our authority. So that's piece number one. Now from that, what we're going to do is we're going to create 3, maybe 5, maybe even 7, depending on your content, different pieces of content that go and point to that. So this video right here is part of our authority content blueprint because now I'm covering that actual piece, but I go deeper and I cover all the other parts in the main workshop. So this here is a pillar piece of content that will point to that other piece of content. See how that works? It's actually happening right now as I'm doing this video. So from there, we want to create those 3, maybe 5 different videos that are going to be addressing things that you talk about in the main anchor piece of content. Then from there, we're going to create something we call our 5x5x5 content tree. And what this basically is 5 questions that your client is asking. And then you're going to answer those in these little videos. And I say little videos, anything from 5 minutes to 10 minutes is a good range, give or take. And then you're going to create another 5 videos of questions they should ask. And then you're going to create another 5 videos of the myths that they might be thinking and they aren't really true. And so you're going to knock those myths away. So do you see how that works? We basically just created all of this content that demonstrates that we can help them And also, it gives them the opportunity to get to know us, to like us, and trust us. And here's the deal. In every video, you want a call to action. Now, you might have noticed in the beginning of this video, I had a little call to action. I said, hey, if you would like our playbook, just comment playbook down below and we'll send it to you. That's a call to action. Those are embedded in every video because every video I'm going to be talking about parts of the main workshop or the anchor piece of content. Now think about that. Every piece of content is going to point to that anchor piece of content, that longer piece of content that teaches your entire strategy or your frameworks. Plus, every video is going to have a call to action to potentially become a lead. And that's something I see a lot of business owners not doing, and it's extremely, extremely powerful. So every video now has an opportunity for someone to become a lead and not have to go find a way to be able to contact you. And then at the very end of the video, this is really, really critical. And you're gonna see how I'm gonna do that right here. I'm gonna demonstrate it in real time. You wanna give them what to do next. And what that thing is for this video is, this is just a small part of that entire strategy. And if you'd like to see the full strategy, go here. I'll walk you through the whole system and I'll also give you exercises. So this way here, you can start implementing that as soon as possible. Click here and I'll see you there.